everybody, and welcome back to yet again another Create a Sim video. In today's video, we will be making all 6 of the Stardew Valley bachelorettes. So Abigail, Maru, Haley, Emily, Penny, and Leah. So I'm starting here with Abigail. I put all of their character icons at the side just to compare. Now, nobody in the game really comes with last names except for George and Evelyn. I think their last name is Muller. So I kind of just made up last names for everybody, mostly based on their most loved gifts, even if they're a little bit goofy. So I named Abigail Amethyst, just where she loves her amethysts, and I felt like the alliteration went well. I am a little disappointed that we don't have a darker purple hair for Abigail. This one ends up looking more pink, but I still think she looks pretty good. I also tried to make all of these characters as minimal custom content as possible, just so people could download them and play them in their own games. So the makeup and the eyelashes are custom content, of course, but for the most part, I tried to keep all of the clothes and hairs not custom content, so just coming from any of the game packs or expansion packs. So this is Abigail's outfit. I gave her this denim looking vest with these black pants and the boots similar to her sprite. I wanted to give her the green bow that she has in her little sprite there, but unfortunately, even with custom content, I didn't have anything that quite matched it, so I just left it out. Abigail is a classic marriage candidate. I feel like so many of us go for her. I feel like you're more likely to go for her if you're either a bisexual woman or if you're a guy who just really likes goth girls or who wants a gamer girlfriend. Either way, she's a really good marriage candidate. The vest I gave her ended up removing the choker that I gave her originally, so I just replaced it with this string one because it was the only one that would show up. I gave her the Strangerville mystery aspiration just because she's pretty adventurous and I feel like that just really fit her personality. I gave her the music lover trait because she plays the flute, the adventurous trait because of her sword fighting, and the loner trait just because that felt right. I could have sworn there was a gamer trait, but I guess that must have been an old Sims game. And here's Abigail. Next up we have Maru, who is the daughter of Robin and Demetrius and the half-sister of Sebastian. I forgot to type it in until the end, but I did give her the last name Iridium because it is one of her loved gifts, but now looking back, I'm realizing she would have to have a different last name than Robin and Demetrius because I'm not giving them the last name Iridium. Clearly I didn't think that through. Obviously, if you download these Sims from the gallery, you're more than welcome to change their last names or anything else about them. If you choose Maru as a marriage candidate, I feel like you're super smart, you might be a little dorky, and you definitely hate Demetrius. I know I did my first playthrough and I didn't even marry Maru, he just made me so angry. I did give this version freckles. I know she doesn't have freckles on her icon, I just thought it would be really fitting. And of course, with all my female Sims, I threw on some eyelashes, some lip gloss. I can't help it, honestly. It's just second nature at this point to do that. But again, that's the only custom content that I'm using for these Sims, so hopefully that's okay. I gave her the classic Maru overalls. They had to be the black ones because they were the only ones with the purple shirt underneath, but I still think she looks pretty similar. I gave her the nerd brain aspiration and the socially awkward, perfectionist, and genius traits, of course, and here she is. Next up we have Haley. Haley is a bit of a controversial character. You either love her or you hate her. I know, like many people, I'm sure, I hated her at first. She was just so nasty and really, really mean to me. But she does have a redeeming character arc, especially her 14 heart event. She turns out to be actually quite a sweetheart, and it's really cool that she has picked up photography as a hobby as well. If you choose Haley as a marriage candidate, you're definitely a masochist, but you do stay for her redeeming personality. Unfortunately, I couldn't match her hair color exactly without it looking way too cartoonish, so I just settled on this color for a bit more realism. This hair from Island Living fit her so well, and I think it's one of my favorite hairs in the whole game. In her sprite, it doesn't really look like she has a lot of makeup on, but I did give her Sim a bit of eyeshadow, blush, colored lip gloss, and highlighter just because I feel like she would in real life. Once again, I forgot to put her name at the start of the clip, but I did name her Haley Flowers because one of her most loved items is sunflowers, and I just couldn't give her the last name Sunflowers. That would be a bit too much, so I called her Haley Flowers. For her aspiration, I gave her the leader of the pack aspiration because it does say in the Stardew Valley wiki that she was very popular in high school, and I gave her the creative traits because of her secret love of photography, as well as the mean trait for obvious reasons because she is so nasty when you first meet her, and even a little bit as you become friends and build a relationship as well. And for her third trait, I gave her self-absorbed because she is constantly going on about how her hair looks, how her skin looks, and everything else. And here is Haley. The next Stardew Bachelorette we're making is Leah. I called her Leah Poppy Seed because she loves poppy seed muffins. Arguably, it's better than calling her Leah Goat Cheese. I know it's not a great last name, but it is a little bit cottagecore, which is her vibe, which is part of the reason why I like her so much. She's always foraging wild mushrooms and fruits, and she says that she eats a fresh salad every day. I think that's really cool. I love that she just lives by herself in the woods in her little cabin, and she just makes her sculptures, makes her little salads. She is adorable. I think she's the perfect marriage candidate. I will say, if you chose Leah as a marriage candidate, you probably just wanted to marry Robin, but you found out she was married to Demetrius and you couldn't, so you settled on Leah because they look really similar. You probably also chose her because you're outdoorsy, you're down to earth, and you just really want to live the cottagecore lifestyle. I could be wrong about this, but I also feel like she's kind of a stoner. A couple times she alludes to her special vinaigrette, and she refers to being in a trance-like state when she was making one of her sculptures. I feel like that might be a cheeky reference to being a bit of a stoner, but I could be wrong. I don't know how I didn't realize this before, but I ended up giving her brown boots when the boots on her sprite are very, very clearly red, and I think I gave her the wrong colored jeans as well, but it's okay. It's so pixelated, you can't even tell, so it's mostly up to interpretation anyway. I still think her outfit is super cute and matches her vibe. I gave her the Master Maker aspiration because she is always sculpting and fabricating things with her hands, and to go with that, I gave her both the creative and the maker traits, of course, as well as the art lover trait. And here she is. She is so cute. For our next bachelorette, we have Emily. I never really considered Emily as a marriage candidate just because she seems so young and youthful, but she does make a good friend. However, if you do choose to marry Emily, you're probably a little bit insane, but in a good way. You're probably super positive, super optimistic, and a little bit spiritual. You might collect crystals, and you probably have a thing for Ramona flowers and the manic pixie dream girl type, which works out well because her last name is Flowers, not because of any of her love gifts, but just because she is Haley's sister. Looking back, maybe I should have given her a different last name, but I didn't, and that's okay. Personally, I think this sim turned out really, really well. I think it looks just like her, but a little bit more adulty, if that makes sense. I had a really hard time with her outfit. From her little icon, she has kind of like this button-up, collared dress thing with long sleeves, and I just couldn't find anything that matched that very well. It's a little bit ugly. I went back and forth on so many things, but I ended up using this belted red dress from Eco Lifestyle with a white long sleeve underneath, which isn't super similar, but I just think it looks better than whatever she has on right now. I gave her the inner peace aspiration because of her 2-heart event. It's a little bit trippy. She's very spiritual. And then I gave her the dance machine trait because of that one cutscene, the generous trait, and the cheerful trait. And here she is. Super cute. And last on the list, we have Penny Pelican. Her last name, of course, inspired by the town that they all live in. Out of all of the bachelorettes in this series, I feel like Penny ended up looking the most like her sprite. Thankfully, the For Rent pack just came out, which worked out really well because they had the perfect hairstyle for her. I feel like if you choose to marry Penny, it could go one of two ways. Either you have mommy issues and you are not actually looking for a wife or a girlfriend, you're just looking for a mother replacement, or you're just attracted to girls who are really kind, really sweet, and have that maternal energy. Although the third possible option is that you kind of have a savior complex and you just want to rescue her from her terrible, abusive environment. Whichever reason you choose, I honestly feel like Penny might be the most underrated bachelorette of the series. She is so sweet and she does make the perfect wife. And she's really, really good with kids. She's a teacher, she's very smart. She is gentle and soft-spoken. I really like her. It took me a while to find the perfect shirt for her as well, but I ended up with this short sleeve button-up top. I gave her the super parent aspiration because in the wiki it does say she wants to have a family. And then I gave her the bookworm, neat, and family-oriented aspirations. And here is Penny. As always, I will be uploading this household to the gallery and leaving my gallery ID in the description. Thank you so much for popping in. If you like this content and want to see more of it, please consider subscribing, liking this video. Thank you so much for popping in, and we will see you next time.